Since the development of the first video game in 1931, the video game industry has grown on a kind of exponential curve. There were a few bumps in the road, but the industry has come to the point where it is taking in over $7 billion annually. Salaries for people in the video game industry ranged from $32K to $200K, and a single video game can sell from 10 to almost 100. Blockchain is a relatively new and untapped technology, and the rules of the centralized market are currently dictated by large companies. To sell their game, developers have to spend about 50% of revenue for the placement of the game and advertising. This money goes to giant companies such as Google, Apple, Steam, Facebook and many others. Since not all studios can afford it, the market remains a monopoly of major developers. Today we will talk about the EON project, whose goal is to radically change the rules of the game in the market for the common good. EON is the newest project, the task of which is to dislodge large companies from the video game market and give the way to young developers in this difficult field. What it is right now, think for yourself, who is easier to make a game? A multi-billion-dollar company or a company of very gifted developers, but without a large budget? For simple developers, this is very difficult, because you have to devote most of the budget to the promotion of your project. Today, the technology has advanced greatly. No longer just a few rules with simple graphics and sound effects. Most modern video games attempt to be virtual reality experiences that engage their players by conveying settings and stories in a visceral manner, combining the techniques of the cinema with gameplay rules to make settings seem realistic. They are produced at great expense and risk. The amount of content needed to achieve an impact competitive with other games has grown astronomically large. Indeed, one of the more interesting developments in gaming has been the added significance of the storyline. Back when the prime requirement of a video game was to reproduce the playability factor associated with the traditional board game, the inclusion of a background to the events taking place in the game was a manual filler at best. However, with the evolution of gaming technology bringing us ever closer to a fully convincing visual representation of an imagined reality, there is now huge emphasis on the way in which the story unravels around the user's interactions. Any modern action or adventure game that wants to stand a chance out there now requires strong script writing, a solid plot with the occasional twist, and if they are really pushing the boat out, multiple outcomes based on choices made by the user throughout the game. The makers of these games not only want to create a fully interactive cinematic experience, but also one that stands a good chance of winning an Oscar. Future games may break the boundaries of the screen and common input devices and use methods of input and output that we can hardly imagine today. The problem with today's game market is that because of the money involved, most new games are similar to old tried and tested formulas. The sad fact is that originality is lost. The big players no longer want to risk their money on original ideas. Problems experience in gaming distribution. Game promotion discovery. Developers have to design games to meet the rules of distribution platforms rather than designing for gamers. Most ads networks are not transparent and traceable, which makes it difficult for developers to calculate conversion rate and the return on their investment. Another issue for developers is increasing marketing and awareness cost. Developers are seeing the cost of new user acquisition increasing from 1 to 12. In order to market their games and allow players to be aware of their games, they have to contribute more than 30% of their revenue to centralized distribution platforms, and spend time and money in finding effective ads network to reach their target users. Payment method. When developers release a game targeting global gamers, they have to integrate the payment method of local markets respectively. Although big distribution platforms like Apple Store supports multiple currencies, developers usually have to find local partners or handle the local sales pricing currency exchange by themselves. This greatly increased the cost of developers, and gamers from some countries have no chances to play those games. Besides, most centralized distribution platforms delay payments to developers for as long as 60 days and execute payments on a specific days of a month. This makes it difficult for developers to manage their cash flow. To solve these problems, I will be presenting you an unbeatable and undisputed project called EON. What is the main purpose of EON platform? EON platform is a decentralized digital game distribution platform, where gamers can discover, share and play games, as well as socialize with other gamers. The team already has experience in creating gaming applications on blockchain and plans to launch a platform of which developers can create, distribute and market their own crypto game. This will be a game changer for the whole gaming ecosystem. Additionally, EON platform is a great platform with great ambition, aiming to give better gaming experience through amazing idea and innovative technology. Our mission: by utilizing blockchain technologies, especially Ethereum, most problems facing game distribution and development will be tackled. On Ethereum blockchain, developers and gamers can access EON platform globally. Payment will also be done through cryptocurrencies and EON tokens, so developers don't have to worry about integrating local payment options. They will have access to their funds instantly since payment on blockchain is instant. The platform will also utilize smart contracts that run on Ethereum, which work according to the way it is programmed without any possibility of downtime, censorship, fraud or third-party interference. Compared to centralized platforms, EON has many advantages. Here are the main ones. Accessibility. The platform is open to gamers from all over the globe. Convenient and fast payment through the use of blockchain. Using cryptocurrency for payment eliminates the need to convert funds and spend them on legal costs. Honesty and transparency. All user actions are recorded in the blockchain, which allows you to easily and quickly calculate the effectiveness of marketing strategies. The presence of a referral system. Gamers will be able to receive a reward for their users. Game developers will be able to encourage active promoters of their developments. The presence of a convenient platform for building a community of gamers, where they can communicate, share game content, let's play and reviews. As a result, everyone wins. Developers get a convenient platform that saves time and money. Gamers get a large selection of cheap and quality games. Platform tokens will be used for payments between participants. If desired, they can be exchanged for cryptocurrency or fiat money on exchanges. It is to be hoped that the parasitic intermediaries have saved up some money, because the scheme provides for their exclusion from the money chain. We will survive this as long as all other market participants are well. Details ICO. The developers plan to release 2.1 billion EON tokens, of which 30% will be sold, another 30% will be given to the stimulation of the community, 20% will be spent on future marketing costs and community support, 10% will be taken by the team, 10% will be given to advisors and partners. The core of the development team consists of 6 people. 1. Aaron Liu is a CEO, a fan of Bitcoin from the early stages of its formation and a private entrepreneur. 2. Chao, who is a co-founder, entrepreneur, graduate of the University of Southern California. 3. Mark Nadzelski, community project manager. 4. Sunny Sun, worked as a senior engineer on Facebook, responsible for blockchain. 5. Hao Dong is one of the early Bitcoin miners, the lead engineer of the project. 6. Wu Li, presumably a former member of the project, is still present in the list on the official website. Website http://eontoken.io